Hello, Laziali all over the world. Welcome to another episode of Lazio Lounge. I'm Vittorio and finally, I'm smiling after not an easy moment for Lazio fan. This will be the most important 10 days of the season for Lazio, and things started well because we beat away Atalanta, and we have plenty of things to talk about. And I'm joined by my dear friend Karsten Krog. And it's a perfect day to have you, Karsten, because Isaksen, another great performance. And finally, we saw this Danish player that nobody was aware of that finally played yesterday. And I think he had a good impact. But overall, what's your judgment on Lazio's performance yesterday?
I think it was a pretty ugly game, to be honest. Whenever you play Atalanta, you know they're gonna present this very high pressure all over the pitch. Sometimes I think Lazio, when they had Sarri as a coach, they played really well against Atalanta because they could sort of play their way out of this pressure sometimes anyway. I think yesterday most of the time we just booted it over that pressure, and basically that made for a pretty not a very beautiful match in my opinion. But I mean, it was a very even match. It could have been 1-0 Atalanta, it could have been 1-0 Lazio. I think at the end, I think we deserved to win because we had a few really big chances the last 15 minutes that we didn't capitalize on actually.
I mean, you're here. We have to talk about Gustav Isaksen. He's not scoring a lot of goals, but decisive goal against Victoria Pilsen, decisive goal against Napoli. Yesterday, another 3 points goal. He's scoring important goals, and I think it was probably his third touch of the game. So really impressive performance by Isaksen. Man of the match yesterday?
I mean, 45 minutes is it's hard. I actually think that Beloin played a really good match. Uh, so, and I think Mandas. I know it's hard to pick a goalkeeper, but we have really missed the keepers that sometimes get us out of trouble, and I think he did that yesterday, Mandas.
I thought Mandas was a huge surprise because coming to this game, there was rumors that Belayan could start, that Chauna could start, etc. But nobody mentioned Mandas. And so it was a huge surprise, but I thought he changed the game. I mean, if Lazio won yesterday, is because of the goalkeeper, not only because he made an unbelievable save against Retegui, but the goal Isaksen scored is a long ball from the goalkeeper. And it was funny because last year everybody said, yeah, he's very good goalkeeper, but he's like Strakosha with his feet. He's not very good. Well, yesterday he proved a lot of people wrong. So I'm asking you, considering that Thursday there is Bodø Glimt, then Sunday there is the derby, then home game against Bodø, would you change the keeper? Would you start Mandas?
I think I would actually. I think that he's. I think they're about the same level, and at the moment, I think it seems like Mandas is just the better keeper. And funny thing about Mandas is that when he kicks the ball really long, I think that he has a lot more quality than Provedel in those passes, because when Provedel kicks the ball long, he puts it way up in the air. It's going to be one of those just impossible balls for an attacking player. But if you look at it, the way that Mandas kicks it long, he kicks it very sort of low and with a lot more pace on it. So I think that his passes forward are much more dangerous. And I think that in goal, I think they're very close to each other at the moment. But I think we talked about this so many times this season, Vittorio, that the fact that I don't think that Provedel has just not had that many saves. I don't think he's made a lot of mistakes. He has made a few, but he hasn't made a lot of saves for us. And we just need a goalkeeper to win that game once in a while. Mandas has had a great save yesterday, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's these funny stats. Provedel is considering only the starting goalkeepers in Serie A, he's the one with the lowest percentage of saves made. So that's scary. And the other stats, funny enough, is the last clean sheet for Lazio was the 22nd of February, Venezia Lazio, 0-0, and the goalkeeper was Mandas. Don't think it's a coincidence. right?
No, I agree with you, but if I can change the subject to another player who I was very satisfied with yesterday, I think Bellerin, when he has the ball at his feet, he's not exactly
Mm.
Roberto Baggio. You know, he threw away the ball more than a few times. I don't think he's that comfortable as a playing midfielder, but as a number six, as this kind of steward who just sort of runs around and is very annoying to the opposite team. I think he does a great job. He marks really great down there. I think he gets in the way of so many balls. I mean, I would consider maybe playing with Bellerin and Guendouzi and Rovella. So we have a three-man midfield, and then Guendouzi could get forward a little bit more. Rovella could get forward a little bit more because we have this very defensive-minded midfielder. Because to be honest, both Rovella and Rovella is pretty defensively minded, but we need him to play a little more as well. And Guendouzi is not defensively minded at all. So if you have Bellerin, you have this extra sweeper in the midfield. Does that make sense?
Yeah, he lost too many balls for me yesterday. Especially in the first half, I thought he was great. I don't know how many balls he got back, but when he has the ball on the feet, he's a midfielder. He should be better.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So that was one problem. Rovella again yesterday was terrific. I thought another incredible performance. And I agree, this is a team that is conceding too many chances, too many opportunities. With Rovella and Belayan, yesterday we saw Lazio defending much better. So this is really interesting. So my question is, why didn't he start? I mean, we signed him end of January. Yesterday was the 6th of April and was his first start with us. Why?
Well, I think you answered the question because he's not that great with the ball on his feet. He lost the ball. I wouldn't say every single time he had it, but close to every single time he had it. Nobody can be Rovella. Rovella is great defensively, and also he plays great football with the ball on his feet. Guendouzi is not great defensively. He's really not. And I think I love Guendouzi. I think he's a great player. He should play every single time for Lazio, obviously. But I don't think that he should have a big responsibility defensively because he's not really that great at marking either. I think a lot of those cutback goals that we have conceded this season, I think Alistair said last week, it was like 80% of the goals that we've conceded have been cutbacks. So you need a defensive-minded midfielder to cover for those cutbacks. And I think Bellerin he's much better at that than somebody like Guendouzi, because Guendouzi, he's a very offensively-minded midfielder. And most of the time when we play with basically a number 10, and he doesn't defend. So we only have two midfielders who are defending. Yesterday we had three midfielders who were defending, and I think that we had two midfielders defending, and when Vecino came on, we basically had three midfielders defending. And I know that this is not the way he wants to play, Baroni. He wants to play with these four strikers almost. But I would say that yesterday, I don't think it's a coincidence that we didn't concede at all yesterday. I really don't.
Well, I think in certain games, you have to adapt a little bit to your opponent. I mean, you cannot play, only offensive mind football when you're playing against Atalanta, Juventus, etc. You have to think about the opponent. So you have to adapt a little bit. Can I ask you what you think about Delebashiro's performance yesterday?
I thought he did really well, especially after the break. Obviously, his assist to Gustav Isaksen was huge. He almost had another assist to Gustav Isaksen. There's this point, I think about 18 minutes played. He has this assist to Gustav Isaksen. If he gets the ball with his left foot, he's completely wide open, one-on-one with the goalkeeper. He doesn't really catch it, but I think he's a clever guy. I like Delebashiro. I think he's playing really well at the moment. And he has a lot of physique. He's a really, really strong guy. I mean, if you're one-on-one with Hien from Atalanta, I mean, this guy is built like a wrestler almost, Yeah. And I think Delebashiro could basically nudge him off the ball once in a while. So he's a really strong guy. I wouldn't want to get in a fight with that guy.
No, definitely not. I think he has huge potential. Mm-hmm. He's raw talent. he has to improve a little bit in reading the game. I thought yesterday he played really well, but you were mentioning that huge opportunity. If that pass is good, is perfect, probably we close the game. So you can see the potential there, but there's even the disappointment because, okay, let's finish it. Let's go and wrap up this game, because with Atalanta, you never know. The home game, we were 1-0 up and they scored in the last minute of the game. So you have to be very careful. And with these youngsters, you have this problem. I mean, I thought Dele Bashiru played great. I thought Showdown was a disaster.
Yes. Yeah, Showdown. I'm almost giving up on Showdown. He's been here for a whole season. I haven't. He's played maybe one or two good matches. Yesterday, he played for 45 minutes. I mean, he was terrible. Every single time he got the ball, he just gave it away. And the thing about Showdown is that he has a lot of pace. He's a very quick guy. He's also pretty big. He has a lot of physicality, but he just doesn't use it well at all. And he throws the ball away all the time. I mean, he's so bad with the ball on his feet. So I think, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say too much because he's only been with Lazio for a really short time. But yeah, he was terrible yesterday. I mean, when Isaacson came on, it was a completely different game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in the last couple of months or so, Isaacson has been our best player, I would say. Not only because he scored important goals, but every time he has the ball on his feet, he creates chances. And so
yeah, the rest of the team really trusts in Isaacson now. That's another thing. Whenever we have the ball on our feet, we're doing a fast break. I think they're trying to reach Isaacson all the time. They're looking to Isaacson all the time. So I agree with you. I think that right now he's Lazio's most important player. I think he is.
Do you think someone from the Premier League will come this summer and offer a lot of money for him?
It's not impossible. The way that he's playing at the moment, he's one of those modern players that you don't have a lot of. A very good dribbler on the ball, very good at sort of cutting in from the right to his left foot. He's just gotten so much better at Lazio this season than he was last season. I really, really hope he stays at Lazio because I think he can be a very important player for Lazio the next couple of years. The good thing about Isaacson is, and I told you this before, as a person, he kind of likes safety. He likes to be at a place where the coaches really believe in him. He knows that he's going to play a lot. So he's not necessarily a guy who's chasing a lot of money right away. Because I know that if Manchester United came knocking, he would make more money than if he played at Lazio.
Easy peasy, obviously.
Yeah.
Do you think this is one of the reasons why he's playing better this year? He feel more the confidence of the manager. He feel more part of the team, etc. Because even last year he had some good performance, but he had some poor games. This season, especially from December onwards, he's a completely different player.
Yeah, I think that I don't want to say too many bad things about Luis Alberto, but Luis Alberto was not good for Isaacson. He never ever passed the ball to him. He basically played with Sakanye all the time. And I also think we need to talk about Sakanye because what the hell has happened to him, in my opinion. But the thing about Luis Alberto is that once he got out of the team, I think Isaacson suddenly got much more involved because if you look at Guendouzi really, really likes Gustav Isaacson. They have a great relationship. And I think they're really good friends off the pitch as well. Because Guendouzi and because they speak English together. He's been in the Premier League and all that stuff. They're sort of the same age. And I think, and if you look at it, Guendouzi and Isaacson work really well together. Luis Alberto didn't work with, I wouldn't even say that he worked with Isaacson at all. He just tried to avoid him. So Luis Alberto leaving has been very good for Gustav Isaacson, in my opinion.
You were mentioning Mattia Zaccagni, the captain.
Yep.
Not a great performance yesterday again, right?
No. What do you think has happened to him, Vittorio?
Well, he's struggling with injuries. He has a little bit of problems there. But with Atalanta conceding so much space, especially in the second half, you expect to see him cutting in half the defense and scoring. He didn't create that much yesterday. And it's not the first game, unfortunately. To be honest with you, I was surprised to see him coming out before the end of the game. I thought we needed Zaccagni to create a threat to the Atalanta defenders. But, I mean, you expect much more from him, right? While Isaksen have stepped up from December onwards, I don't think Zaccagni did the same.
No, I mean, Zaccagni is our new Giulio Immobile. He's our new star player. He's the captain. He should be scoring at least 10 goals, hopefully 15 goals a season, in my opinion. He kicks many of the penalties as well. He kicks many of the free kicks as well. He should be our star player. And I don't think that he's really delivered anything useful the last 2 or 3 months. What you're saying about injuries makes a lot of sense, because I think that at the moment, I think he looks like half a player, in my opinion. I would say Nuno Tavares as well. He gets injured all the time. That's not his fault. I know that. But I think even when he plays, he's not really that great of he hasn't really done that well. He played amazing the first 2 months. And since then, he's been fairly average. I think Pellegrini has done better and better. Played a really good match yesterday, Pellegrini, when he came in.
The last assist Nuno Tavares made in Serie A is the 31st of October, sorry. I mean, we are beginning of April. That's a long time ago. And I agree with you. In the last games he played, he was average at best. And even yesterday, he played only 34 minutes. But I thought he made a couple of stupid mistakes. It looks to me, I don't know, maybe he's scared because he feels he's not 100% fit. He's concerned that he can get injured again, so he's not pushing that hard. But or you play at your best or you don't play. Playing like that is useless. And now he got injured again. And so we have question marks. On Thursday, I don't know who's going to play, because I don't think Pellegrini and Isai are in the UEFA list. So it's going to be Lazzari and Marusic. And I mean, he's becoming a liability, Nuno Tavares.
I mean, it's going to be Marusic, because Marusic can play on both wings. Lazzari can only play on the right. So it's going to be Marusic and Lazzari, certainly. Nuno Tavares is, if we get a big offer for him this summer, I think maybe Lazio should take it and make some money, because I don't know what Pellegrini said to Baroni when he was out of the team, but it seems that they have made up. And I like Pellegrini as a player. I think he has a lot of aggression. He also makes some stupid mistakes sometimes, gets some yellow cards and red cards. But I think that's something you can work with. Do you know what I mean? We can make him a little more patient. And another thing, I mean, I love Rovella as much as you do, maybe even more. But Rovella gets a lot of yellow cards.
Yeah, I thought yesterday it was never a yellow card, but he's always...
I would disagree. I think that's a yellow card. I'm sorry.
Anyway, Pellegrini had a good game, and I was scared when I saw him coming in the pitch, because in the last game he wasn't great. So it was good to see him playing to a good level, to a good standard, even because, I mean, in the last month, we conceded so many stupid goals that we have to stop that. And overall, I thought our defense played great. I don't know. Do you think it's because Mandas was in goal, he gave more confidence to the rest of the players, or it's just because all our defenders played better in general?
I think because Pellegrini is playing, because we get an extra player in defense. I mean, that's all he does. He's basically a fifth player in defense. He's an old-fashioned number 6. You know, he doesn't go forward a lot. Yesterday we saw why, because he doesn't really play football that well. But that's fine with me. I mean, remember when we've had some number 6s over the years that haven't been great playing football going forward, but they have been really good at helping the defense and sweeping in front of the defense. And I think that's what Bellerin did really well yesterday. I'm not saying he should start every single match from now on. I'm just saying
Yeah.
I don't think it's a coincidence that we didn't concede, and I think that Bellerin was a big part of it yesterday.
Yeah, I think he should be getting some time, be in the rotation there, especially because, Rovella won't play on Thursday. Belayan is not on the Europa League on Thursday, so he won't be playing. But don't know, the derby or the other games, that could be an opportunity. You can see that Alex is not here because we still didn't talk about Gigot. So
No, I know. Yeah, he has in Denmark we call it a man crush. I think we call it that everywhere.
yeah,
Alistair has a man crush on Chico.
I thought yesterday he played decent. I thought he had a good game. We have to say that Atalanta is a very different team in the last month or so. They hardly score, which is unbelievable if you think that Gasperini is the manager. But even though they didn't play that bad yesterday, they didn't have that many chances, right? Mandas made couple of saves, and that's it.
Yeah, no, we basically cut them out from getting too many big chances. I think they had a couple of scrap chances that could have resulted in a goal. Everything like very close to the goal can always, you can get unlucky sometimes. Yesterday we were lucky. None of those things panned out into a goal. But I think in general, I think we deserved the win because the last 20 minutes, I think I started by saying that we had some really big opportunities to create like a one-on-one with Atalanta's keeper. And so all in all, I think Lazio deserved to win yesterday. Atalanta is just not playing well at all at the moment. And I think you're saying that Gigot had a fairly good game. I mean, he played against the best striker in the league. Retegi is a really, really good striker. And I think he reduced him to almost nothing yesterday. So I would maybe be a little more friendly and say he played a really, really good hour, Gigot.
I have to tell you, when he was subbed, I was concerned. I was a little bit scared because Prosgar made his debut, and it's not easy to make your debut against Atalanta, who's a very offensive-minded team. But it was a good debut. Nothing special, but
No.
I thought he played well.
Yeah, he's not a dumb defender. He's an intelligent defender, and I think that's what I think you could see that with the ball on his feet yesterday. He's not too bad. He's not too bad at spreading the ball around. The big problem with Poulsgaard, and we will see that later, I think, is that he's just not very quick. So whenever we play a high line, Poulsgaard can sometimes get in trouble unless he has somebody really quick next to him. I mean, luckily Gila is maybe the quickest defender in the whole league, so that helps a lot. But yesterday, Poulsgaard was subbed when Lazio was up 1-0. So we knew that we were going to sit very deep the rest of the match. And when we sit deep, Poulsgaard's not bad at all. He's an intelligent player. He's the captain of the under-21 Danish national team. And you don't become a captain of that team if you don't know how to position yourself on the pitch, if you know what I mean. So I agree with you. Nothing special yesterday, but he didn't do anything stupid either.
No, absolutely. I mean, it was encouraging to see, and now I hope that Poulsgaard, Belayan, etc., we will see them playing a little bit more going forward. It's true that now we have very difficult games. I don't see him playing in the derby. I think it would be a big risk.
No, certainly not.
Even though Roma is not a fast-paced team, they play high ball, so it could be even an important move. But after these 3 points, do you think Lazio has still an opportunity to finish in the top 4 in the Serie A?
Sure. Yeah, why not? I mean, it's so close now. The thing about Atalanta losing all the time is that we're not really competing for one place in the top 4 anymore. We're competing for 2 places because I think Napoli and Inter are far and away. They're gone. Yeah. Nobody's going to take those 2 teams. But I think number 3, number 4 is all up for grabs, in my opinion. Do you not agree?
No, absolutely. I mean, it's funny enough because, what was it? 2 months ago, we were talking about Atalanta fighting for the title. Yeah. And then they stopped. Don't know what happened. I think Gasperini has a lot of responsibility. He's not very good in managing people. A couple of quotes about Lukman. That was dreadful, terrible. So yeah, I think there's an opportunity. Bologna's flying. We're gonna see what they do tonight against Napoli. That's gonna be a very important very important game. But I saw Roma Juventus yesterday, and both teams didn't impress me. Juventus probably deserved more to win, but in the second half, they didn't create pretty much nothing. Roma is a very defensive mind team, so I think the derby is going to be very difficult for us because we are struggling against those teams and we concede something, so the derby is going to be very difficult. But apart from Bologna, even Fiorentina is a weird team. They were able to not win against Milan with 2 goals ahead. So, probably.
I think that Fiorentina is, in my opinion, is the weakest of those teams. I think they have gotten, I wouldn't say lucky, but they have an amazing keeper, Fiorentina. I mean, I think their goalkeeper has saved so many points for them this season. If you look at them all in all, I think Lazio is a better team. Atalanta is certainly a better team. Bologna is about the same. Bologna is sort of like a bumblebee at the moment. Like you say, they're flying, but they're almost playing better than they're supposed to.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? At some point, Bologna will come down and play at the ratio and the strength that they really have, in my opinion. I don't see any reason why Lazio shouldn't take the number 4 spot, maybe together with Juventus or Roma. Who knows? I think the best teams are Juventus, Roma, and Lazio in that package. But at the moment, Bologna, especially if Bologna is winning tonight, and they could win, because Napoli is not playing that well either. So,
You know what? Fiorentina has a striker. Can have been scoring a lot of goals. That's something we are missing, for example. If we had Keane instead of Dia, I think we would be already third. And Dia is a little bit like Nuno Tavares, right? He started very well the season and he suddenly stopped. And I had some discussion this morning because I said Dia played badly. And other fans said, no, he played well, he defended, he's a number 9. He has to create chances, which he's not doing anymore.
No, I agree with you. I think Dia is an intelligent player, and that's what I like about him. But I think you and Alistair said it last weekend. You said he's just not a Tati number 9. And it seems like we just need Tati a whole lot. It's not that Tati is a great player. I don't think he is. But he works really well for the way that Lazio plays. He just does. And I think Dia is a lot better playing off Tati Castellanos as a number 10. We don't have a number 9. I mean, we have one number 9, but he's injured. We don't have 2 number 9s. So, I mean, I think Dia does a lot of intelligent things on the pitch, but he also disappears a lot. He's gone for 15 minutes sometimes. But yesterday he has Chauner next to him, and it's just impossible. They just cannot hold on to the ball, those two, especially Chauner.
Yeah, I know I've been harsh, but I said in the first half we were playing 9 against 11 because Chana and Dia was invisible, and it's very hard to play great football when you're 9 men against 11. So that's a problem. And to be honest, when we signed Chana, I said that's a good signing. He's a very promising player. He did well with Salernitana. Obviously, he's not ready for the Champions League team, but I was hoping to see improvement, and I didn't. Honestly, I didn't.
No, he's like a pinball machine. The ball just bounces off him all the time. He just can't hold on to the ball at all. Every time we pass the ball to him, he takes 1 touch and it's gone, or he takes 2 touches and it's gone. He's a player that every team that has a player like that, you're just thinking he's not going to hold on to it every time. So every time you pass him the ball, it's going to be gone within 2 seconds. That's what happened yesterday. So I know that he's a young player. He might evolve. Gustav Isaksen's first season was not the best season either. So who knows? But I think Baroni can maybe see it in training. Does he have the talent? Will he be able to be a good player in a year or 2? I don't know. I wouldn't be able to say. But I think the last 3 months, whenever he's played, he's been, invisible, basically.
Yep.
He's not even dangerous. That's the thing. He's not missing chances. He's not even getting to those chances,
No, he's not creating nothing at all. That's the concerning thing. Sunday was definitely a very important game, but Thursday is much more important. Bodø Glimt, the season started right, and they started well. I'm really concerned about this game because
Yep.
Rovella will be missing. We are playing on an artificial turf that is something new for us. I think you know Bodø Glimt a little bit better than us. What can we expect from them?
You can expect a team that's been used to winning almost everything in Norway for the last 2 or 3 years. They have a very good coach who's been there for a while now. A lot of teams have been trying to lure him away from Bodø Glimt. There are Premiership teams. I know FC Midtjylland have been very interesting in signing him as a coach, but he doesn't want to leave Norway.
Wow.
And apparently he's making a lot of money at Bodø Glimt. Norway is a very rich country, so they can pay him a lot of money as well. But I mean, it's a team that they have a couple of Danish players as well that are scoring goals, and they didn't really do that well when they were playing in Denmark. So it's a very, very good coach who's getting a lot out of players who shouldn't be at Lazio's level. But you can say that about Bodø Glimt every time they play another team. They shouldn't have a chance. I mean, they're playing in Norway. The Norwegian league is not very strong. The Danish league is much stronger than the Norwegian league. But if you take the best team in Norway, Bodø Glimt, and the best team in Denmark, which is FC Copenhagen or FC Midtjylland, I would say Bodø Glimt is probably a better team. So it's a weird team to be facing. They're extremely good at home, obviously, because the weather's so bad up in Norway that they have these artificial pitches. I don't think that they should be allowed to play in UEFA on these pitches because it's a completely different game. There's a team in Denmark called FC Nordsjælland, North Zealand. They have an artificial pitch as well, and they win almost everything at home because it's a completely different way of playing football.
Yeah, and that's another big concern because one of the reasons why Nuno Tavares wouldn't play on Thursdays because the risk of injury on that surface is huge. So I'm asking you, knowing how good they are at home, would you play Tati Castellanos from the start?
Well, that's a big question. I mean, if he's able to start, I probably would, just to be able to get the ball up on his feet once in a while. And I mean, he's the best number 9 we have when we're under a lot of pressure, and I'm suspecting we can get under a lot of pressure up there. So he's a very important player to have. Him and Isaksen on the fast breaks, I think, are certainly important players. But I think we'll have Guendouzi ready to start, right? He's going to play. Yeah, Rovella's going to play. He's back
Rovella
is
suspended.
still banned? Oh my God.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Vecino next to him, you think?
Yeah. Or Dele Bashiru, but I don't think so. I think Dele Bashiru could play. And there's another important thing. There's the derby on Sunday. And pretty much Lazio will be back in Italy on Friday. So they don't have that much time to prepare. Do you expect huge turnover?
Well, I would say that after Belawin's good performance, I think maybe let him start against Roma. He knows Serie A really well. He's played against Roma many times. Maybe let him start. Then again, Rovella is not playing, so he's going to be very fresh to play against Roma. So, I mean, that it's hard to say. I think Castellanos, if he's ready, he should certainly play against Roma. He'll be important in that match. But again, Isaksen right now, our most important player, he's just played so much, and if he has a little bit of an injury, I've heard that he has a kind of an injury. That's a huge disadvantage for us and for him. I know that when he played for Denmark, he played 2 national games for Denmark. He played 90 minutes and then he played 65 minutes against Portugal. He was man of the match in the first game against Portugal. He played really, really well, and he played against maybe the best left back in the world. So he's doing well at the moment. But I also know that he didn't train much when he was back with Denmark because he's just been playing so much the last 3 months, Gustav Isaksen. So we also need to look at whether or not we can maybe only let him play 45 minutes in Norway like he did yesterday. Maybe not start with him and then put him on again. He was so good when he came on in the second half.
Yeah, but I mean, Pedro probably should be starting. He has the right experience in a European game. I don't
Yes.
think I would give an opportunity to Chanat, to be honest with you. Not Thursday, neither in the derby. I mean, that would be a huge risk I wouldn't take.
Yeah, like you said, it's like playing with 10 men against 11. I hope Pedro will be ready. He can certainly do a good job on the right. He's a very different player than Gustav Isaksen. He doesn't threaten so much whenever we do our counterattacks.
Yeah.
Gustav Isaksen is great on counterattacks. But Pedro is better when we're controlling the play a little more. So I don't know. But anything, to be honest, anyone but Chauna at the moment. Maybe Noslin on the right. But what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, we have to see even how Zaccagni is. I think Pedro could be playing trequartista behind Tati Castellanos with maybe Noslin on one side. So I think that could be our best opportunity. But yeah, the next 7 days, 10 days are going to be really important for us. The Europa League is huge for us. And Bodø is a very dangerous team. I'm happy how we played yesterday because this is encouraging. But this week is going to be key. If we don't lose these next 2 games, I think we have a huge opportunity both in Europa League and in Serie A. Because I saw Roma yesterday. They don't play great. They defend very well, but they don't play great football. So if you create chances, if you score, then it's going to be, it could change your season, these 2 games.
Yeah, I could easily see the derby, to be honest, as a 0-0, just 0-0, in my opinion. Roma is going to try to lure Lazio forward to make us play very attacking. And I think that knowing Baroni, that's probably what we're going to do. That's the problem.
Yeah.
But they're going to try to punish us on fast breaks. It's going to be difficult for us to score. We don't score many goals at the moment. And we have to admit, Roma has a really strong defense. So if we score 1 goal against Roma, I'd probably be satisfied. And then hopefully we can hold them just to not scoring at all.
Yep, I mean, that's our problem in the last month or so. We concede too many easy goals and we don't score. So yesterday was a nice surprise because we see exactly what we need to do. So it was really encouraging. Again, Thursday.
Yep. Yeah, but I think one of the differences right now is that if you look at 3-4 months ago, Lazio, we've conceded goals all season. But the thing is, 3-4 months ago, we just scored 3 or 4 goals at the other end. At the moment, we're not really scoring more than 1 goal a match. And that's because Tati is not playing. That's because Zaccagni is not playing very well at the moment. So those are the 2 players that should be scoring our goals, and they're not scoring at the moment. Diaz not scoring either. So all our goals have to come from midfielders, from Marusic, from Isaksen at the moment. And we need to have those guys start scoring a little bit again, in my opinion.
Yeah. Tadi would be back on Thursday. Baroni said yesterday he didn't want to risk him because the situation was a little bit complicated. The plan was to play him 20 minutes, but we saw how the game went. So it was a wiser decision for me not to risk him like he did against Victoria Pilsen.
Well, Tati is very important against Bodø Glimt because he's so strong in the air. I mean, he jumps so high. He's so strong in the air. And Bodø Glimt on corner kicks are very strong. They have a really, really strong team. So he will be a threat offensively, but defensively, he's actually very important for Lazio in that match.
So it's good even to have back Romagnoli, who wasn't playing yesterday because he had a fever. I think that's going to be really important.
Yes.
I think how we played yesterday was important. How the team attended this game, because Atalanta is very dangerous and we were focused, and it's something that we didn't do in the past couple of months or so. So that's really encouraging.
I think a player like Lukman, I know that he hasn't been playing that great the last couple of months, but when he plays really well, Lukman, he's one of the best players in the league. And we just completely nullified him yesterday. So I think Lazio did really well in front of Very, very strong player, in my opinion.
Yeah, and Lazzari was a surprise because, he's not very good defending. He lost him a couple of times, but overall he had a very good defensive game yesterday, Lazzari. And again, huge surprise because in the last month, and I love Lazzari, to be honest, but in the last month or so, he was terrible, really terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so frustrated with Lazzari because he's so quick on the breaks. But we just don't get anything out of it at all.
Yeah.
Every time he has the ball, he's running away from defenders. You're thinking this should be a really huge opportunity. His deliveries are just terrible. He makes the wrong decisions every single time going forward. Can you imagine a Lazzari who was a little more clever going forward with his deliveries? He would be a huge weapon, in my opinion.
You were mentioning at the beginning, Luis Alberto, I thought that Lazzari has a lot of problems with his accent. They don't communicate well. When Lazzari goes to the left, his accent moves the other way. When he passes the ball, it's always wrong.
Yep.
Every time they do the wrong thing together.
I think Isaacson is best with Hisai behind him, or maybe Marusic, because they're a little more old school right back. They don't go forward as much. I think him and Lazzari, they don't communicate much either. I mean, I don't know anything about it, but they don't seem like very good friends either, to be honest. And that can sometimes be a problem on the pitch.
Yeah, I don't know if they're friends, but on the pitch they really struggle to pass the ball, which is incredible. But anyway, the important thing is we won.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only important win, actually, I think.
But now there are very important games coming forward. So, guys, we're going to wrap it up here, but we're going to be back Friday after Bodø Glimt Lazio. Crossing fingers. Even a draw should be a good result, right?
Oh, yes, definitely. I would take a draw. I would maybe even take a small defeat from Norway and say, that's great, a 1-0 defeat. It's going to be really tough. But if we can hold on to a 1-1 or 0-0, I mean, that would be really good.
And then there is the derby. I'm already feeling the pressure about it. Karsten, thanks again for joining me. It's always a pleasure. It's much better having you than Alistair, you know it. So you're more than welcome whenever you want.
Thanks for letting me on. I'm always whenever you guys need me. I kind of like being with Alistair as well, though.
Oh, sorry. That's harsh. Anyway, thanks to all our Patreon to support us. Remember, membership starts at $2 a month, patreon.com/Lazio Lounge. And again, we'll be back Friday morning after Bodø Glimt Lazio. Thank you, guys. Take care.